cut that out, but I.
Is there any mental health, whether it be at work or outside of work, experiences you've had that you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
I challenge myself. I mean, the long and short of my story is that 5 years ago I was living in Ireland. I was mentally sort of living in a world that I didn't want to live in, and was really struggling, went into depression, was really struggling with anxiety, ended up on antidepressants, was having sort of daily blackouts, and it was just a product of the environment I was living in. Finally sort of managed to have a conversation with my sister and my best friend about how I was feeling, and realised that it was a disease that I was fighting, sort of my mental health, and you know, that depression and that anxiety, and it's horrible. And if that wasn't the life that I wanted, what would be the life I wanted? And my mental health journey over the last 4 years has been wonderful. And it's about some days accepting that you don't feel great, but embracing that as part of who you are, and how you work on minimalising those days, how you turn off the voices in your head that you're not good enough, and we all have those. And what I find now that I do is, I love my life. I focus on things that I'm proud of. So in a year's time I can look back and I can put energy into things that, rather than me telling myself I'm not good enough, I can look back and say, well, that's a new boundary, that's a new wall that you've pushed through. And you know, this year we're off to Everest with 22 colleagues. I certainly never thought that was possible going back 4 years. I'm bringing 50 colleagues up to Snowdon in May for Mind, and it's working with these mental health charities. And I think when you start taking responsibility for your own life, when you take responsibility for the thoughts in your own head and fight back and bring that positivity in your life, and you know, it's not a case of always being positive, it's a case of having enough in the tank so when you do have a bad day, you can pick yourself up the next day and move forward. I'm aware of who I am now, and when I have bad days and the triggers. I found postnatal depression really hard, those first few weeks, where you feel completely helpless because mum is literally doing everything and she's the main caregiver, and you're kind of feeling like a spare wheel. And again, the key for me to get through that was to have a conversation with Izzy about how I felt, going online, Googling the symptoms, and feeling that you're not the only one, and it's something that's normal to feel that way. I'm now in a dad's group on Facebook where I regularly talk about postnatal depression, and that, you know what, those first few weeks are horrible, but once you get through that, it's a wonderful place, and I wouldn't swap it for anything now.
Twice there you mentioned, and it is key, kind of talking to someone, talking to people was kind of the turning point.
Your own mind will lie to you, the voices in your head, the negative, and you've got to step aside from those and relate to other people to bring perspective in your own life, where you get a chance to talk to people and listen to what they're saying to you. You know, I think having close friends who you can talk to about how you feel on a regular basis is really good, because it not only keeps you grounded, but it also does give you that lift and that perspective.
Well, thank you, Trevor, and good luck with the Snowdon and Everest, was it? Yeah?
Yeah,
excellent. Lovely. So check out some of the links in the description below about some of the things we've been talking about. Hope everyone's okay. And if you're not, that's okay too. Take care of yourself, look after yourself, and whenever you're ready, try again. Cheers then.